The North American Auto Club continues its trek through Canada with the Argyle Grand Prix, the Trois-Rivieres. This is the second leg of the Legacy Cup, the only one to not have 40 cars due to it being not only the shortest road course but also the narrowest. With this reduced field and double points still at play, this is the perfect opportunity for those who want to make big gains in a short time. This round also marks the halfway point of the season, and it's looking like a two-dog race between Lucy Barton and Rebecca Pellerin. However, we are still ways away from the Try Hard 500, so everything can change. If you can't notice right now, it is raining pretty heavily. It began last night and it continued through all morning, and we do expect it to continue through the entire race, which means we are working with the possibility of this race being contested with wet weather tires for its entirety, which is unprecedented for the North American Auto Club. With all these pre-race news over and done with, let's look at how they line up for this race. Stealing the front row are two drivers with not a lot of road course experience. Joey Thorkson trying to continue the momentum earned with his win in New York, with Brett Finlay trying to recover the points he lost at New York. The top two in the championship, arguably more experienced in road courses than the front row, are starting alongside each other in row number 2. Expect some fireworks there. Two wildcards, hometown hero Riley McKee, born in Trois-Rivieres, closes the top 5 with Ruby Carson lining alongside him, while defending series champion Kelly Ashcroft and Tammy Barton are lined up in row number 4. The top 10 is closed by 2014 series champion Mac Henley and Ashley Richardson, who could use a good result in this race to prop her up into the championship battle despite her status as a part-time driver. Row number 6 has Luke Pellerin and Kirk Jones. Row 7, Thomas Tucker and Connie Brooks, who got her first career win in this track. Corbin Dempsey and Jamal Schmidt share row number 8, while Kate Taylor and Robert Burton bring about row 9. Lee Schmidt and Rookie of the Year leader Ibiki Murata start in row number 10, while two big surprises in Dan Wright and Kristen Young start way ahead of what anyone anticipated in row 11. Rafaela Molina and AJ Murphy are looking to make better second starts in the North American Auto Club, while Charlie Faulkner and Caitlin Richler failed to get a good qualifying run yesterday. Jenny Irving and Adam Patterson start 27 to 28, while Megan McDonald and Blake Chandler had duds in the time trials and are sharing the penultimate row, while bringing the rear of the field are, unsurprisingly, Kip Lemon and David Lemar. Failing to make it into the race are Brendan Fletcher, Bobby Savage, Lynn Hodges, Lucas Calhoun, Kendall Hendricks, Scott Overton, Patty Stage, Tony Hart, and the Elliott sisters. This race is scheduled for 80 laps, just above 122 miles, the shortest of the Legacy Crown races. We expect the pit window to be around 28 to 32 laps fuel-wise, but way less for the rain tires. But we will have to see as it goes. We've never done a race in these tires from start to finish. As you can see, the track temperature is very low with very weak winds. However, with the rain that we're facing, it is expected to continue on for 3 more hours, which is enough for us to go from green flag to checkered flag. Let's get to it. As you see, the rain is hitting kinda heavy here in Trois-Rivieres as Joey Thorkson leads the field to the green as they come into turn number 1. It's a big 3 wide. Riley McKee dives and Ruby Carson almost makes it a 4 wide. There's contact between Kelly Ashcroft, Rebecca Pellerin, and Riley McKee as they come out of the turn and they come down. As you see, there's a 4 wide right there. Kelly Ashcroft, Lucy Barton, Ruby Carson, Lucy Barton gets tagged as they go downhill below the Duplessis, and Lucy Barton gets it straightened away. Here comes Tammy Barton in a 4 wide. She makes contact and they sort it out, and now it's a 3 wide. The championship leaders already getting together. This cannot end well, as they are now seeing Joey Thorkson open a big gap in a small group in the back right there. Kip Lemon into the back of Adam Patterson, and that's a scuffle that I don't think a lot of people are surprised that happened. Those two already tangled in practice, and they are now tangling in the race as the 71 of Dan Wrights right there not having a fantastic start. And at the conclusion of the first lap, Joey Thorkson is now gonna lead the first lap with Kelly Ashcroft right behind him trying to catch up. And we are bound to have a battle for the lead between those two. The winner of the Try Hard 500, winner at New York, and the current series champion who has won at Ohio in dominant fashion this year. And there she goes on the inside of the number 0. Is it gonna work? Looks like it will at the breaking point. In the fastest sector of the track, she slides it in deep. And there goes Kelly Ashcroft still side by side, but she clears the number 0 new race leader. In the back of the field, Caitlin Richler in 22nd place. You have a brake check right there. A lot of people got together. AJ Murphy, Blake Chandler, teammates, Hibiki Murata, Jamal Schmidt. Just the braking points in the sector of the track are very sketchy. Contact between Kelly Ashcroft and Lee Schmidt. And they're gonna have a little bit of damage, but nothing very major. They're gonna keep it going, but Caitlin Richler and Lee Schmidt already tangling. That's not good for neither of their championship runs, as Schmidt's gonna go to the pits, maybe just to check on the damage, but he's gonna be back with not a lot of time lost. With Kelly Ashcroft opening already 5 seconds over Joy Torkson in the rain as we enter lap number 4. She is just running away with this lead. And then right behind him, there you see Riley McKee in 3rd place. He is 5 seconds behind the number 22. Right behind him, you see Brett Finley, Ruby Carson closing out the top 5. And there, I think it is Lucy Barton indeed. And Thomas Tucker running pretty well there in the 7th spot. And you see there goes Thomas Tucker climbing ever so slowly. By lap number 5, he's already finding himself in the 4th position, chasing down the number 22. And as they start lap number 6, he's already chasing down the number 22 as well. Here he comes. Is it gonna be enough to close it in? Looks like it will. He's having a very solid run as the rain is starting to get a little bit heavier, but not a lot. Track is already pretty wet. The tires have been holding well in these first few laps. And a little bit behind, battle for 9th place. Contact between Rebecca Pellerin and Blake Chandler. Chandler sends Pellerin into the wall. Pellerin dives on Chandler to show her displeasure, but no contact. But that's a little bit of damage, a little bit of the fender damage that could make things a little bit harder for Rebecca Pellerin. As Kelly Ashcroft's gonna lap the first car in the race, the 71 of them, right there she goes, 7 laps in, so quite early. You can see that windshield is all sorts of wet, and the windshield wiper is only on half of the car, so you have a very bad blind spot that could make things very difficult. But Kelly Ashcroft leading away, and she's about to open around 15-16 seconds over Joy Torkson. Torkson's just running around, hanging on. It's the first time he drives on a rainy track, as Thomas Tucker going on Riley McKee to take the 3rd spot, and he starts to catch the number 0 of Torkson. There goes Thomas Tucker at the braking point, and he's now running in the 3rd position. By the start of lap number 10, Kelly Ashcroft on the inside of Kip Lemon, on the inside of the number 14 of Adam Patterson. Is she gonna do a double whammy? She is definitely trying, and she's gonna have the outside, which is not the preferred line. 3 wide with Lemon and Patterson, and there goes Kelly Ashcroft, just making it look super easy. And by comparing the best laps these drivers have done, Kelly Ashcroft has clocked a 132. Blake Chandler, first driver to pit on lap number 10. The best lap Kelly Ashcroft did was a 125. She's currently clocking 7 seconds slower, so you can see the fall off these rain tires are having. As Thomas Tucker, who has clocked the 132 the last time around, is already all over the rear end of Joy Torkson. They make contact. Torkson got a little bit shook, but he dives on the inside. He's gonna have the preferred line as they come to lap the number 71. And there he goes. Is it enough to hold the number 9? Looks like it will, but Tucker is gonna try to force a 3 wide. Is it gonna work? Looks like it might. And Tucker just trying to sort it out. He's right on the rear of the 0 as they come to the braking point once again, the fastest section of the track. The Ashcroft cars seem to have a upper hand in this part, and it's been working wonders for them. And there goes Tucker. For second place, it's an Ashcroft Family Racing 1-2 now. And on lap number 12, the tires are suffering quite a bit. Callie Ashcroft decides to pit. She goes in and you see the size of the gap until the number 9 figures out through. We're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait quite a while. There goes Tucker. Tucker also chooses to come in, so the Ashcroft Family Racing team is working on the same strategy, which is very interesting. Torgson's gonna mirror it because the gap's so large, he was able to adapt. And in the front of the field, Callie Ashcroft, after she comes out, she's gonna have to lap the number 14 and the number 200 once again. She's in the rear end of the 14, and they make contact, and that's a miscalculation. That is not something Callie Ashcroft does, and that's gonna cause her to lose a lot of time in relation to Tucker. That was definitely a miscalculation. She probably thought she was gonna be able to make the pass, but I don't think she realized the rear end of the 14 was there. Hooks the 14 into the wall, and this is gonna help Thomas Tucker to catch at least a few seconds back into the line, but that's very dangerous for Callie Ashcroft. As Lucy Martin, she is hanging on a little bit longer, and you see the speed the cars that just pitted have. There goes Torgson passing the 30 and the 98 with so much ease. And there's problems for Lee Schmidt. He had to take off that hood due to the contact with the number 2, and he's gonna stop in the middle of turn number 1. Caution is out. He almost gets hit by Luke Pellerin, and the yellow flag is out. And Torgson with a tire blowout, 1 lap in, he misses the pit entrance, and he's gonna be sent all the way to the back of the field. As everyone that didn't pit the last time around, as you see the 98, the 30 coming in, everyone that didn't pit the last time around is gonna pit this time around, and they're gonna be all in the same cycle. Blake Chandler, who pitted earlier, will cycle out in the 3rd position, as Callie Ashcroft's gonna lead the field to the green. Due to the track conditions, we would have had a double file restart if it was dry weather, but it's just so wet, they just don't want to risk it. And Thomas Tucker already making a move on his teammate on turn number 1. Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? It does. It does. There goes the 9 for the lead. And Thomas Tucker now leads away as they come down the Port de Duplessis. There's contact between Lucy Martin and I think that's Blake Chandler. So terrible visibility. And Riley McKee right there as we restart on lap number 18 of 80. And the rain is starting to pick up quite a bit. It's starting to get pretty bad. But the track still has conditions to visibility. Drivers can still see. The windshield wipers are still working on most cars. Some cars just have them badly connected and sometimes they stop. But overall, it's been working fine. It's been working fine. As Blake Chandler now, he's gonna get passed by Lucy Martin. Here comes Brad Finley to make the move with Ruby Carson and AJ Murphy and Caitlin Richler in tow. Caitlin Richler recovering a lot of position. She makes contact with AJ Murphy and Robert Burton into the back of Caitlin Richler. In front of the field, they're gonna sort it out pretty quickly, but as you go together with Burton, he just gets into the back of Richler when she moves away from the 30 on that contact, and the visibility is just so bad. You're just prone to having these miscalculations, and it's pretty much an equalizer between a series champion like Burton and a sophomore like Richler. And you see another sophomore, Lucy Martin. She has a lot of road course experience from her years in Trans Am, and she's having a fantastic run. David Lamar with problems spits on lap number very soon after the restart. He's now 1 lap down, and he's gonna fall another lap down after pitting. Just not a very good run for the number 12. As Lucy Martin now in the back of the 99. Martin's trying to increase her championship lead over Pellerin. They started in the same row, and that gave them some bonus points, but Lucy Martin wants to finish as far as that as possible to increase that points lead as much as she can. As you see the hard breaking point, Kate Taylor gives a bump to the 85 of Charlie Faulkner, and he's gonna get tagged by the 19 of Jenny Irving, and they're both in the wall right in front of Joey Torkson. Torkson scoots on through, and that was the battle for the 24th spot. You can see how far back Torkson has, and brake failure on the 200 of Kip Lemon. He stops just shy of the pit road entrance, and caution is out. Thomas Tucker refuses to pit on the first lap under caution, and that the whole field pits. Tucker doesn't. I think he might either be trying to increase his lead or just trying an alternate strategy, because if the rain picks up way too hard, we might have to red flag this one, and then everyone's gonna be able to change tires and put more fuel in, as Lucy Martin leads the field off the pit, so she's gonna restart in second. And the green flag is out as we come to the restart, and Kelly Ashcroft already making a move. She takes the lead, and that may have been a penalty. That's that was not a good restart. That was not a good restart. Thomas Tucker loses, goes from the lead to third place. Let's see on the camera, and as you see it, Kelly Ashcroft penalized. She jumped the restart, and as you're gonna check on the replay, she passes the 98, she passes the 9 before the start-finish line, and inclement conditions can't excuse what is jumping the restart. She's gonna have to go to the pits. She's gonna have to serve the drive-through. That's gonna throw her all the way back, but the rain's so bad she might not lose that many positions, as Lucy Martin now is gonna take over the lead with Ruby Carson having a fantastic run in the second position. And there goes Martin leading away as they come down to turn number 1. And as you see, Thomas Tucker just falling behind. Those old tires are not helping. That was not a very good strategy. I think he's holding up the entire field. Here comes Tammy Barton diving into a 3 wide with Caitlin Richler. And there you see Blake Chandler just seeing the mess building behind him as the two Overton cars get together with Tucker. And that's a log jam in front of Blake Chandler, who's running in 12th. There goes Kelly Ashcroft, who served the penalty. She's already back in the top 10. There goes Megan McDonald through, as you see the 4 wide into the hardest braking point of the track. They make contact there, and it's an insane run as Blake Chandler is gonna pull through. And there's more contact as Corbin Dempsey gets together with Rafaela Molina and Connie Brooks. Connie Brooks dives in. It's an insane few moments as Thomas Tucker is just holding the entire field up. He's gonna fall below 20th place at this rate. There goes the two S2 Motorsports, the motherships, as Stanton likes to call them, the 18 and the 28, the two cars that are running the full season. Corbin Dempsey, Kristen Young having a fantastic run, pulls through. And finally, on lap number 27, Thomas Tucker pits from the 19th place. He restarted on the lead. Rebecca Pellerin did have that contact, and she's already now back in the top 20, back on the saddle. Look, Pellerin right there as well. Lucy Martin now currently hangs on to the lead with Ruby Carson right behind her, but Martin's starting to open a bit of a lead. As you see, it's starting to get really bad. Visibility starting to suffer a bit as we're gonna enter lap number 30. And the thing is, North American Auto Club races are official by the time we reach halfway point. By the time we reach the halfway point, it's official. So we need to get at least a lap 40 so that this race is worth the double points. If the race is stopped before halfway, but after we complete 1/4, so after we completed 20 laps, the race is handing out half points. And as you see, Jamal Schmidt has a lot of damage in the front end, just like his teammate and brother Lee. And now both of the Ernest Lewis cars don't have a hood anymore, so that's nice. Great job there, boys. Megan McDonald surviving though with a very unscathed vehicle. After pitting, Thomas Tucker now is chasing down the 12 of David Lamar. He's gonna get into the back of the lapped car of David Lamar, and that is not a very cash money moment as we enter lap 30 of 80. But as I was going on about, as you see Lucy Barton lapping the 71, the moment we reach 20 laps, the race is already handing out half points. When we reach 50% complete, then the race is official and it's gonna hand out the double points. Contact between Lucy Barton and Max Stender. So a lot of people are looking at that lap 40 mark and trying to survive as long as possible in hopes. Lucy Barton a little bit impatient. Ruby Carson's gonna use that opportunity to close in to the number 98, and that hubris may have harmed Lucy Barton a lot because Ruby Carson's closing in, and a lot of the people are looking at that number 40, which is gonna be very important. They might just push it until then, as Kelly Ashcroft, despite the penalty, finds herself in the 5th position. As you see, it's starting to fog up on our cameras. It's starting to get really bad. If you thought it was bad before, it's starting to get worse. The visibility is really starting to get poor. And a lot of people are just hoping we get to lap 40 and a little bit beyond that, at least so we can get a pit cycle done under green. As you go together with Kelly Ashcroft, she is 15th in the championship as she goes under the number 30 of AJ Murphy. She has 1 win, 3 pole positions, but her average finish is 18.5, which means whenever she hasn't figured out up front, something happens and she just loses it. And as you see, they're coming to lap the number 71. Blake Chandler is right there, and Blake Chandler now takes the 5th position. And now they're setting their sights on Tammy Barton, who's having a fantastic run right there in 4th place. Contact between AJ Murphy and Dan Wright. And I think Dan Wright got the message because he moved away pretty quickly. And there goes AJ Murphy 4th position, but now he has already lost the 6th place. Blake Chandler, who is off the cycle, pits early once again from the 5th spot. And he pits on lap number 33. Together with him, Ibiki Murata and Kirk Jones also come in, so they're trying to see if there's something worked in this strategy. Robert Burton pits in as well. Thomas Tucker is gonna stay out and rack a lot of positions. Contact with Riley McKee. They both tag the wall. It's an insane race so far. And there goes Thomas Tucker for the position on the number 22. When they cross the line, we'll know for which position it's gonna be. Leader Lucy Barton mirrors the strategy. She and Ruby Carson pit on lap number 34. Tammy Barton comes in as well. Kelly Ashcroft stays out. She might be trying to do something right there. And as you see, everybody is just waiting to see what happens. And Lucy Barton stalled. Lucy Barton has just stalled. They cannot refire that car. They're trying to refire and push it out, but she just cannot come out of the pits. Ruby Carson has already left. Tammy Barton's now leaving. And this is a disaster for Lucy Barton. Kelly Ashcroft pits on lap number 35. We are 5 laps away from the official distance. Lucy Barton comes out, but now she's gonna be 1 lap down almost on the 27th position. She is 1 lap down now. This is a disaster for someone who was finding herself in the driver's seat for the championship, and she's gonna take out her frustrations on Thomas Tucker. They make contact into the gate around in front of the field. Robert Burton strikes the 98. The caution is out for debris. A lot of damage on the 23, a lot of damage on the 98, and the officials are gonna call Lucy Barton to the hauler. As you see, Robert Burton just did not have the visibility until the 98 was right in front of him, and from then on he was just a passenger of a disaster. This is disastrous for Lucy Barton, for Robert Burton, for Thomas Tucker, but this is fantastic for Blake Chandler. He pitted 1 lap early. He cycles out in front of Ruby Carson, and he's the new leader of the race. The lifeline, as you see, is gonna be handed out to Adam Patterson, who's the 3rd car in line. Kelly Ashcroft, despite jumping the restart, despite everything that went wrong, the fact that Thomas Tucker stayed out for so long during that restart helped her a lot, and she's now is still in the battle for the win. As problems for Kate Taylor, the engine expires in the 25 and he is out of the race. Kirk Jones has a tire failure from 6th place under caution. He may have ran over some of the debris of that crash between Lucy Barton and Robert Burton, and that's gonna put him in the back of the field. As the number 03 of Blake Chandler is gonna lead them to the restart. Green flag is out. As you see, the rain is getting really bad. It is getting even worse. Kelly Ashcroft doesn't jump the restart this time around, but Ruby Carson trying to make a move. Kelly Ashcroft trying to force it a 3 wide, not enough. And Tammy Barton now running in 4th place. AJ Murphy running in 5th. A fantastic run for AJ Murphy. And Blake Chandler hanging on. He's trying to get himself in the championship battle, and this would be a perfect way to do it, becoming I believe he would be the first rookie to win a race this season as we reach the halfway point, and that would be fantastic for Zach Tech. That would be a result that I think everyone would love, as Blake Chandler has been pretty much becoming very popular amongst drivers in the garage and amongst the supporters here in the stands. Every week you see more and more shirts with Blake Chandler 03 with the clockwise logo on them, and it's because he has shown a lot of promise, and just because of his hard luck, people are just gathering around Blake Chandler hoping for a championship run. As you see, there's contact between Rafaela Molina and Brett Finley on that hard braking point. It's just so difficult to calculate where you're braking, and sometimes your best brakes are the car ahead of you. I can't blame Brett Finley. I can't blame Molina. It's just the conditions. As Kelly Ashcroft on the inside of Blake Chandler. Chandler fighting as much as he can, but he has 1 lap older tires than Ashcroft. Ashcroft on the outside. She's gonna try to make it work. Ashcroft, that experience, that championship winning experience is showing. And there goes Kelly Ashcroft under the Porte du Plessis for the lead of the race, entering the fastest section of the track. By lap 46, AJ Murphy has caught his teammate, and now they're having a very good tussle for the 2nd position as they come down. And Chandler moves into Murphy. They make contact. Oh my God. Can Blake Chandler have one race where nothing goes wrong? He just got tagged by his teammate. I don't know who moved into who. Visibility so poor. They just got together and they're running 2nd and 3rd. Trying to capitalize on it. Tammy Barton having a fantastic run carrying the flag for the 97 team of Stan Gustafsson. They're gonna get a new scheme next week. This is the final race for the blue IKEA car until next year as far as we know. And she's carrying the flag for that team, running in 4th place. But here comes Ashley Richardson trying to rack up a lot of points. And we enter lap number 48. She comes into the inside. Is it gonna work? She's gonna make the move on the outside. Ashley Richardson, a very experienced driver, and the car breaks down at the end of that lap. She just took 4th place, and the caution is out, and the visibility so poor. The red flag would come out and the race would be preempted. When the race was paralyzed due to the inclement conditions, Kelly Ashcroft led with 10 seconds over AJ Murphy, who was having a fantastic run despite the tussle with his teammate Blake Chandler, who will take the 3rd spot. Tammy Barton snatches a fantastic top 5 with both Shield cars finishing in 5th and 6th. Ibiki Murata ends in the 7th spot, Jamal Schmidt in 8th, while Jenny Irvin a fantastic 9th place, and Mac Henley closes off the top 10. Rebecca Pellerin finished off in 15th. Lucy Barton wrecked out and was scored in 31st, which means Rebecca Pellerin now takes over the championship lead again by 13 points over Lucy Barton. Blake Chandler gets to bridge the gap and becomes 3rd in the standings, the top rookie, followed by the 2nd best rookie this season, Hibiki Murata, 54 points behind, only 10 points behind Chandler. Ruby Carson holds out at 77 points behind, becoming 5th place in the standings, while Kirk Jones is hanging on in 6th place, having a fantastic season for a team that we did not have a lot of expectations to be that high for that long. Jamal Schmidt and Joy Turkson jump into the top 10, while Thomas Tucker lost quite a few positions, and now he finds himself 90 points behind. Mac Henley and Luke Pellerin are now 11th and 12th, and the first driver more than 100 points behind now is Ashley Richardson, sitting at 13th place. Connie Brooks, Corbin Dempsey, and Brett Finley close out the top 16. Riley McKee, Charlie Faulkner, and Caitlin Richler are in the top 20, and despite not running the last few races and not being scheduled to run any more races for the rest of the year due to obvious results, Stan Gustafsson has racked enough points to still be in the top 20 by the time we finished off the first half of the season. The Rookie of the Year battle has changed a lot, with Blake Chandler jumping back into the lead with his 3rd place finish, and Ibiki Murata hanging on 6 points behind on the index, which is a very close gap. Ryan and Charlie Faulkner hold 3rd and 4th place, and despite not running any race in Canada, Boyd Abbott still barely hanging on to the 5th position. Peter Johnson, Andy Atwood, Jenny Irving, Kip Lemon, and Creeper Stevenson are way too far away to make an impact, and barring some absolutely insane results, you will not be blamed if you count them out of this battle right now. We'll continue in Quebec for the next round of the North American Auto Club GripAll Challenge Series season at the Montmagny Circuit, the shortest track we'll race all year. I'll see you next time.